Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for watching. As you can see, I figured today we'd do another Let's Draw video, and I'm actually going to use a picture of my dog Sassy as a reference. My parents took her to the Home Depot the other day, and my mom took this picture and sent it to me. I thought it was actually a pretty good picture, so I figured I'd try drawing it. So I'm starting with the silhouette of her head and her ears. It's funny because I've drawn Sassy several times, and she always poses a challenge for me because she's got like one of those pug or bulldog faces, like one of those smush faces. So I always find it tricky to draw kind of like the folds and the jowls in her face. So the easiest way I found for me to get those features in is I usually start with her ears and her head, then I lay in her nose, and then from there I kind of start working on her snout, which is what I'm doing now, kind of the sides of her snout there. And then I lay in her eyes, because as you can see in this photo, kind of like the bottom third of her eyes are hidden behind her snout there. And so I always try to get that in first because I find that it's the best way to make it look accurate. And so I finished putting in her eyes. Now I'm going to finish working on the rest of her snout. So I'm going to lay in the bottom part there where it curves up, and then I'm going to work on her mouth. Just trying to make sure I line it up correctly with the reference photo. Now I'm working on the other side of her snout. And there it is. There's her snout. I'm just gonna add some marks there to suggest the folds, and I'm just gonna put in a few lines there to suggest the bottom of her mouth. Now I'm just gonna add some lines to indicate her actual pupils, and now I'm gonna work on the side of her face. But I really like doing these Let's Draw videos. Hopefully you all get something from them, you know, some tips, some tricks. Maybe some of you are just watching for the ASMR effect, I guess. But yeah, so now I'm working in on kind of like that bottom portion of her neck and the part of her chest. It's a little more it's kind of a mane actually right now because she's wearing a harness, so it's kind of making that part of her body look more puffy, for lack of a better term, than it normally is. Sassy is a rather fluffy dog, so it's always fun to draw. It's always fun to draw her because I like drawing that texture and working on it. So as you can see, for her fur, I use a lot of like loose lines and a lot of incomplete lines just to, again, suggest the volume of fur. Now I'm just starting to lay in the shopping cart just so I can get a sense of how the rest of her body is going to sit within the cart. There's actually, the shopping cart was actually something that was making me debate whether or not I should draw this picture because part of it, the right side there, is cut off in the photo. And apologies for the lighting change there. My wife just walked into the room and turned on the light, but it's all good. You can still see everything. So yeah, so like I was saying, I was debating whether or not to draw it because that part of the cart is cut off. So I'm kind of guessing on that right side of the cart, and I don't know if you can tell right now, but in a little bit it'll become evident that I kind of got that side of the cart a little more, I made it a more narrow angle than it actually is in the reference photo. So when I start adding the siding of the cart, you're going to see that it's going to be quite foreshortened. It still looks okay, but it is going to be a little different than the photo, which isn't always it's not a bad thing. Now I'm just adding those little curves for the part of the basket in the shopping cart. Yeah, and like I was saying, so because Sassy is so fluffy, it's always fun drawing that fur texture. Now I'm just going to kind of start laying in her body just to make sure that it fits correctly within the shape of the cart that I've got. And now I'm just going to start working on her tail. For her tail, I pretty much just do a lot of jagged lines like that and kind of different directions just to indicate, again, the fluffiness of it and kind of the controlled chaos. That I just added the line for the leg. Now I'm going to work on that left side of her body, and now I'm actually going to work on the harness just to get an idea of how the rest of her body is going to fit in around the harness. Now I'm going to add the handle of the cart there. Again, that part of the cart is also cut off, so I'm kind of just guessing based on the shopping carts that I've seen in my life what it looks like and how it connects. I think that looks pretty accurate. I'm just adding in that plastic part around the handle, and now I'm going to start working on the siding. Again, for this, I'm just drawing kind of incomplete lines to show some highlights there. Now I'm drawing the parts of the siding of the cart that actually runs parallel. Adding in that little corner bumper there. And now it's kind of starting to come together. It's starting to actually look like a shopping cart. So now you see as I move to the right side of the cart, because I did make that part a little narrower than it is in the picture, the side of the cart is a little more foreshortened, but again, it's not a problem. We can work with that. No mistakes here. Just happy accidents, as Bob Ross would say. So now I'm just connecting the right side of the cart over the handle. And putting some finishing touches on that basket portion of the cart. And just connecting the handle on that right side. Now I'm going to kind of start working on finishing off the cart as well as the rest of Sassy's body, starting with that leg. And now kind of adding some bolder lines to the harness to indicate the shadow there and also the thickness of the harness itself. Adding some shadow to the underside of her mouth and adding the darker parts of her ears. And now I'm just adding the little tufts of fur between her head and her ears. Adding a little more detail there to indicate her fur. Now I'm adding the bottom portion of her leg. And we're just going to add a little more detail to her tail. But yeah, like I said, I really enjoy doing these videos. I hope you guys get something from them. Even if it's just just a moment to relax and watch somebody draw something on the internet. And maybe some of you even draw along, which is pretty cool. Let me know in the comments below if you do, and let me know how you guys feel about these videos. If you want me to keep doing them, if you think I should stop. Yeah, I'm anxious to know what you guys think. So now I'm just finishing off the cart. I was debating whether or not to do the bottom half of the cart, because in the reference photo you can't really see anything and the handle is kind of in the way, so I can't really get the angles of the cart tapering down. So I end up not drawing the bottom part of the cart, but I do extend some of the lines down to kind of suggest that the cart does have a bottom portion. Now I'm just going to draw the towel, so I'm just drawing the folds in the towel there. And for that, I've found folds in clothing and towels and things like that was actually something I struggled with for a while. I honestly just started working on loosening up the drawing, or the lines that I do, and I find that it actually leads for a very natural looking fold in like clothing and sheets and things like that. Now I decided that I'm gonna add some color to this picture. I've been working in this Hanamulla gray book, and I really enjoy the way that it makes the colors pop, because again, it is toned paper. It really does add kind of that extra little burst of excitement to the sketch. So I laid in the white for the majority color of her fur. Now I'm going to start laying in kind of like the tan color along her back and her head and parts of her face. I'm just darkening in some areas where it's a little, where her features are blocking some of the light, and also to show where the transition in her fur from white to that tan color is. And now I'm going to darken in her eyes. Sorry for the head being in the way, but I needed to get a good look. Okay, so there go her eyes, and I'm also gonna just do her nose as well. Now I'm going to color in her harness. Again, working in this toned paper has been amazing. It's the first time I've actually worked in toned paper, and the thing I really enjoy the most about it is actually how it makes highlights pop. So I really like how I'm able to add highlights with a white colored pencil, and it really enhances the sketch. It's pretty interesting because, again, I've never worked with toned paper before, so it was really cool to see. Now I'm just going to go in with a darker colored pencil to indicate some shadow around the bottom of her head, and also the jowls there. adding in the darker parts of her ear. A little shadow there for her leg. Now I'm just going to color in the cart. And again, as you can see, the orange really pops too with the tone paper. But we're just about done with this sketch. Again, like I said, I really enjoy doing these Let's Draw videos. Hopefully you all get something out of it as well. Maybe you pick up a few tips and tricks that you might start working into your own sketches, or maybe you're just someone who's watching because it's a nice relaxing video and you're just enjoying watching somebody draw on the internet. Now I'm just using the silver color to kind of indicate the silver tone of the cart and give it more of a metallic feel. Just going over all my lines. And here's where I'm going to suggest, you see there, I just suggest the cart tapering down. I don't actually draw the bottom of the cart, but I'm just going to suggest that it does taper down. Now I'm going to add some highlights to the handle there. And here's what I mean about the highlights on the tone paper. You can see how that pops a little bit because of the tone paper. So I've really been enjoying that. I might actually use some more tone sketchbooks in the future. Now I'm just coloring in the towel. And that's pretty much it. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it and be sure to subscribe. Thanks.